If your cat is sitting on your rug right now in the classic meatloaf position, eyes half closed, perfectly still, I need you to stop scrolling and look at them. We think it's cute. We take pictures of it. But in feline medicine, when combined with a subtle shift in their breathing rate, we call this the pain posture. It is often the very first silent scream of a cat whose internal organs are quietly failing. Hello, I am Dr. Whiskers. I've spent my entire career as a feline specialist here in the U.S., holding the paws of urban cat parents who are sobbing in my exam room because their 6-year-old cat was just diagnosed with aggressive lymphoma or sudden kidney failure. And the hardest part of my job? Telling them that the premium wet food they spent a fortune on, the one they thought was keeping their cat healthy, was actually the slow poison that caused it. Today, we are going to dismantle the pet food industry's darkest secrets. Want your cat to live to 10, 15, or even 20? You must stop feeding your cat these 5 types of wet food immediately to prevent cellular mutation and cancer. Welcome back to the Smart Cat Parent community. If you are here, it means you don't just own a cat. You share your life, your tiny city apartment, and your heart with a tiny apex predator. I know how hard you work. I know vet bills in this country can bankrupt you. And I know you are trying your absolute best. If you find out today that you've been feeding your cat a toxic diet, please take a deep breath. It is not your fault. You were manipulated by billion-dollar marketing budgets. Today, we take your power back. Over the next 15 minutes, we are going to solve 3 massive mysteries. First, I'm going to explain the corner stare, why your cat sometimes just stares blankly at a wall, and why it's a neurological red flag you can't ignore. Second, I will expose the premium deception, how a label that says veterinary approved might legally contain the exact opposite of what your cat needs. And third, I am going to give you my proprietary $1 kitchen solution to instantly flush toxins from your cat's bloodstream using just 3 common items in your pantry. But to understand why these foods are so lethal, we have to shrink down and go inside your cat's body. Look at this. To understand feline cancer and organ failure, you must understand your cat's ancestral biology. Your cat is an obligate carnivore, descended from solitary desert predators. Their bodies were designed to extract 100% of their moisture from the blood and tissue of their prey. Because water was scarce in the desert, their kidneys evolved to superconcentrate their urine. Deep inside the kidneys are millions of microscopic filtration units called nephrons. Think of nephrons as the world's most delicate, high-efficiency coffee filters. In a healthy cat, these nephrons filter out toxins while preserving every precious drop of hydration. But when you feed your cat commercially compromised wet food loaded with hidden industrial chemicals or toxic vitamin imbalances, you are pouring boiling acid through those delicate coffee filters. Let's talk about the cellular mechanism of cancer. Cancer is simply a cellular replication error triggered by chronic inflammation. When your cat consumes heavy metals, mold toxins, or artificial thickeners, these foreign agents bypass the gut's mucosal barrier and enter the bloodstream. They circulate and lodge into the bladder wall, breaking down the protective glycosaminoglycan, or GAG layer. They trigger the amygdala to constantly spike adrenaline, putting the indoor cat into a state of chronic oxidative stress. At the cellular level, this relentless toxic bombardment damages the DNA inside the nucleus of the cells. The body tries to repair the tissue, but eventually an oncogene is activated and a tumor is born. The tumors we see in feline stomachs, livers, and intestines are not bad luck. They are the downstream biological consequence of chronic low-grade poisoning from their food bowl. So how do we know if your cat's organs are currently fighting off this toxic load? Before you spend $800 on a blood panel, I am going to teach you how to perform a clinical baseline assessment on your living room couch tonight. You are going to perform 2 checks. Check number 1, the capillary refill time, or CRT. This is our gold standard for checking blood toxicity and hydration. Tonight, when your cat is relaxed, gently lift their upper lip to expose their gums. A healthy cat's gums should be the color of bubblegum pink. Gently press your thumb against the flat part of the gum line above their canine tooth until it turns white. Then release. Count how long it takes for the pink color to return. If it takes longer than 1.5 to 2 seconds, your cat's cardiovascular system is compromised. Their blood is thick, sluggish, and struggling to clear toxins. Check number 2, the Scruff turgor test, because cats are dessert animals. Their bodies are masters at hiding dehydration until they are at death's door. Gently pinch a tent of loose skin at the scruff of your cat's neck, just behind the shoulder blades, and pull it up about an inch. Let it go. It should snap back instantly, like a rubber band. If that skin hesitates, if it slowly melts back down into place like cold syrup, your cat is clinically dehydrated at the cellular level. Their nephrons are dying. If your cat fails either of these tests, you need to flush their system. Which brings us directly to my $1 kitchen solution. When a cat's organs are stressed, we need to achieve hyperhydration without spiking their glycemic index. You don't need a prescription fluid bag yet. You need the Dr. Whiskers Cellular Flush Broth. Here is the exact recipe. You need 8 ounces of pure filtered water. Do not use tap water. City tap water contains chlorine and fluoride that disrupt feline thyroid function. You need 1 ounce of organic unsalted chicken bone broth. Ensure there are absolutely no onions or garlic in the ingredients, as those cause Heinz body anemia in cats. And finally, 1/4 teaspoon of pure unflavored fish oil to provide omega-3 fatty acids, which act as a direct anti-inflammatory for the cell membranes. Warm the 8 ounces of water to exactly 101.5 degrees Fahrenheit. This mimics the body temperature of freshly caught prey, which triggers their primal instinct to consume it. Whisk in the 1 ounce of bone broth and the 1/4 teaspoon of fish oil. Serve this in a wide, shallow ceramic bowl to prevent whisker fatigue. The mechanism of action here is beautiful. The warm, meat-scented fluid bypasses their low-thirst drive. The omega-3s coat the inflamed GI tract, while the rapid influx of moisture dramatically increases the glomerular filtration rate in the kidneys, literally washing the cellular debris out through their urine. But flushing toxins doesn't matter if you keep feeding them poison. Let's resolve our mid-video promise right now. If you are throwing out your toxic food today, what should you buy? Here are the only 2 wet foods I recommend. My number 2 choice is Koha. This is a limited ingredient diet. It uses only a single type of meat, contains absolutely no artificial gums or preservatives, and boasts a massive moisture content. They run incredibly strict laboratory tests for bacteria and heavy metals. But my absolute number 1 choice is Tiki Cat After Dark. This formula perfectly replicates the Ancestral desert diet. It is made from intact animal organs, heart, gizzards, and chicken liver, which provide natural bioavailable taurine. It contains near 0% carbohydrates, no grain or potato fillers, and uses 0 artificial thickeners. It is an absolute lifesaver for cats suffering from diabetes or kidney disease because it floods the body with pure, unadulterated hydration. Now we enter the danger zone. I need you to go to your pantry right now and see if you have any of these 5 types of wet food. Remember, labels, high prices, and long-standing reputations do not guarantee safety. Whether it's budget, premium, holistic, or even prescription, these foods have a history of devastating feline health. Type 1, the lethal contaminant foods. I am talking specifically about Avengers. This is the worst of the worst. Marketed as premium beef, testing actually revealed the presence of horse DNA and, horrifyingly, Pentobarbital. Pentobarbital is the drug veterinarians use to euthanize animals. Feeding this to your cat directly introduces a lethal neurotoxin into their body, manufactured in factories with atrocious sanitary conditions. Type 2. The toxic vitamin overload foods. Brands like Blue Buffalo and Hill's Science Diet have marketed themselves as premium or veterinary grade. Yet, they have faced massive recalls for toxic, excessive levels of vitamin D. Overdosing vitamin D in a 10-pound cat causes hypercalcemia, literally calcifying the feline kidneys and causing irreversible renal failure. Type 3, the neurological deficit foods. Brands like IAMS Wellness, 9 Lives, and Special Kitty. Special Kitty is a cheap Walmart brand with a terrible recall history. But even Wellness, marketed as holistic, has been recalled for mold, metal fragments, and crucially, thiamine deficiency. Thiamine is vitamin B1. When a cat's food lacks B1, they suffer severe neurological damage. Points to head. This solves our first open loop, the corner stare. When a cat is staring blankly at a wall, suffering from neck paralysis, or having seizures, it is often a direct result of thiamine deficiency caused by these manufacturing failures. Type 4. The prescription roulette foods. You would think Royal Canin veterinary diets are safe, but they have been caught putting the wrong formula into prescription kidney support packaging. This completely destroys a sick cat's carefully managed medical protocol. Type 5, the ignored mass casualty foods, massive conglomerates like Purina and Friskies. Because of their sheer size, when salmonella or foreign objects contaminate a batch, millions of cats are exposed before a recall happens. Thousands of owners reported their cats vomiting blood and dying from specific Friskies batches, yet the company callously ignored the complaints and refused to recall the product. Take a breath. I know this is overwhelming. We've covered a lot of dark territory, but you are now armed with the truth. You know how the pet food industry operates. That was our second open loop resolved. The premium label is often nothing but a deadly illusion. Before we go, I want to give you a tool to immediately lower your cat's stress cortisol levels, which we know drives cellular inflammation. In Eastern veterinary medicine, there is an acupressure point called the Yin-Tang. It is located exactly in the center of your cat's forehead, right between the eyes. Tonight, when your cat is resting, take your warm thumb and apply very gentle circular pressure to this exact spot for 60 seconds. You will literally see their heart rate slow down, their breathing deepen, and their nervous system shift from fight or flight into deep rest and recovery. It is a beautiful way to bond and heal them simultaneously. You are the only advocate your cat has in this world. They rely on you to protect them from an industry that views them as profit margins. If this video helped you, hit the subscribe button right now. Every subscriber helps us push this medical truth past the YouTube algorithm and into the hands of a cat parent who might be opening a can of toxic food right this very second. You subscribing literally helps save feline lives. Now I want to hear from you in the comments below. What is the current brand of wet food sitting in your pantry right now? And after watching this, are you throwing it in the trash? Let me know. I'll be reading every single one. Until next time, keep them safe.